Well, all right. Here we are, everybody. Welcome back to Outside the Cinema, your weekly source for cult movie discussion. We're your hosts. I'm Bill. That's Chris. Say hello to everybody, Chris.
Hello. I'm here.
Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is surviving. It is a rough world out there right now that we live in. So we're doing our best.
Yep.
And hopefully our inane commentary of films that people don't care about will add a little bit of brightness to your day.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so we're kind of starting to do our 2025 cram earlier than we usually do, just because I really haven't seen much this year for 2025 releases. Actually, let me take a look here. I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking at.
Turn off the theme music this time.
Oh, it'll stop eventually.
But then it'll repeat, right?
I'll just shut it off. We'll just shut it off right there. See where we're at. I keep a list on IMDb of everything that I watch every year, so I can then just sort it by release date, which I will do here, and I will say 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of documentaries. Actually, I've watched more than I thought I have.
Okay.
132?
That's not bad.
But that includes everything that we've reviewed on the show, too.
Okay, yeah.
Which
that makes sense.
Which right now for the show for the year we've done 75 films, and then I have 132 total. So,
okay,
not bad. And obviously, there's a chunk of those that are not necessarily not that we really. I mean, we do cult movies, but I mean, we talk about all kinds of stuff. But there's I have a large number of things on my list this year for stuff that I watched so far as stuff that wouldn't really get much more discussion other than hey, I checked out such and such.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we're starting starting to cram in our 2025 titles. Chris chose 2 for this week. The newest Fear Street.
Let's be fair. I compiled a list.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. I chose the 2 from the list.
But I also left off things that I'm like, I don't think I want to watch that.
Well,
So,
I mean, if we're going to try to cram, let's at least cram
yeah.
stuff in we think we want to see.
Mm-hmm. And you chose the Fear Street one, and I did too, obviously, because we did 3 others? Is that how many?
We did the 3
series?
others, yeah.
Yeah, was this done by different people?
It was done by a different director.
Yeah, okay.
So we're doing Fear Street Prom Queen, which is the 4th installment in the... So the Fear Street books, I've never read them. They're R.L. Stine, the guy behind Goosebumps, but they're young adult novels, I think, for the most part.
It's that, like, if you were to go with the age range at the end of the Harry Potter series, like if you grew up with it, like that's, like we're talking end of teens, maybe, if the movie translates to the book graphically in any way, I would think it's like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Like right before not me, because I was reading Stephen King in like 4th grade, and I read Dune for a book report in 6th. That was a nightmare. That was tough to get through, because that's a big book. And you have to constantly refer to the glossary. Anyway, I forget what my point was.
Well, I'll say this while you're trying to remember it.
Yeah.
Fear Street, there are over 100 Fear Street books, with the original series containing 51. In addition to the original series, there are numerous spin-off series, including Fear Street Sagas, Fear Street Cheerleaders, and Fear Street Juniors, which have been brought to the total number which have brought up the total number in the series. The original series are 51 books in the main Fear Street series, which is what I believe all of these Netflix films come from.
Okay.
Which were published from 1989 to 1990.
Wait. Did you say 51 books were published in 2 years?
That's what it says, yeah.
Right.
There are 51 books in the main Fear Street series, which were published from 1989 to 1990.
Yeah. So it's sort of like the Babysitter's Club, where they had a bunch of ghostwriters writing under one name, I would imagine.
I don't know. Well, I honestly don't know. Did R.L. Stine have... I mean, his name was on all the Goosebumps books, right?
Right. Let me see.
I don't know anything about this series other than what we've talked about in the films.
Right. It's not my...
I mean, his name, R.L. Stine's a he, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because Jack Black played him in a movie.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm going off of. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yes, ghostwriters were used for some of R.L. Stine's Fear Street books, especially in the Fear Street Sagas and Ghosts of Fear Street series. Authors like Carolyn Crimi, Crimi, and Catherine Lance have been confirmed as ghostwriters for books within these 3 series and related Stine works. Stine has stated he does not use ghostwriters for the primary Fear Street novels, but the large volume of books in the series made the use of other writers necessary for certain sub-series.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. I mean,
So they're they're young adult.
They're
Young adult books,
that. Yeah.
which means we're not the
Renoir
demographic.
No, not at all. But it's a slasher, and we're pretty good with adjusting expectations based on who it's made for. Like there was that one with the girl that was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She went back in time, and her mom was the mom from Happy.
Oh yeah.
Not Killer Party, but you know what I mean. The Max Headroom looking villain, and I like that. I watched that twice, but that's
I enjoyed
like
it too.
Like a young adult kind of horror movie,
Right. And
But it's
these
fun.
and the Fear Street films that we watched last year. 2 of the 3 of them I thought were good. There was only one that I really didn't like.
I remember overall they were decent. If
They were better
somebody
than
wanted
expected.
to-
I'll say that for sure.
yeah, if somebody wanted to watch them, I wouldn't put up an argument. I'd be like,
I feel like
that's
we
fine. I'll-
recommended the whole series after we did it. I feel like we recommended all of them.
Yeah,
I thought the one that took place in the 90s was my favorite, and then there was the one in the 70s, and then the one that took place in the 1600s. And I remember that was the one that I was just like, this kind of like doesn't work with what they're trying to do here.
Yeah. They did a decent job though, costumes and stuff. Unlike something else we may talk about.
But yeah, so Fear Street Prom Queen, we're reviewing that this week, and then we are also reviewing a Tubi original, Don't Feed the Children, which is one that has popped up on my carousel a bunch of times.
Yeah,
And so I think that'll
and it
all be-
looks good. The trailer makes it look tense,
Yep.
which is nice.
It
Which
sure
is why I
diddly
put it on that
does.
list.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
And I just feel like too, that, 17 years into the show, like whatever. Who cares?
It's
Who cares?
movies. We're still doing movies.
Yeah,
We're
whatever,
still
man.
in the right genre. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we could justify anything. We've covered the things that we've covered over the years. It's like we say cult films, but it's kind of like, well, I really want to watch this and I want to talk about it, so we're just going to include it in the show.
Yeah, because like cult films can be
Anything.
anything. Like, yeah, we could have, if we were, eternal, we could have covered early John Waters stuff that people would have hated at the time.
Haven't we? Didn't
now,
we cover Pink Flamingos?
No. I mean, when it was out, like we're doing our 1982 wrap up, and here's the ones we didn't get to see, so we're gonna watch them now. And I think our opinion would be different than with time going by, because I didn't like Pink Flamingos when I first saw it because I didn't understand John Waters at the time. I was way too young. But
I'm still
now
too young
it's
to
like,
understand it.
yeah, I was more, obviously my whole life, like, okay, this is, you're going to show me people that I should root for and that should be cool. And why is that lady eating dog poop? Right? So it's like, okay, I understand, the joke, the aristocrats, and they want to be the grossest family. Like, it's that whole kind of thing where it just gets worse and worse and worse. The characters, and I get it now, and I'm all into it. I love John Waters, but at the time, it was like when I watched Clockwork Orange, and I'm like, oh shit, this was wrong, because I was 10, so like that was a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like we cover these two, and then who knows, maybe the second one will catch on and be a cult movie, and we come revisit it later, and it's different. Who knows?
Never know. Never know. But we're gonna start with Fear Street Prom Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's play the trailer. Nope.
Hi, Carol. This must be so
Here we go. It's an ad. What are you gonna do
Yeah.
for that new Apple Plus show that just came out?
Oh
Pluribus?
yeah, I don't even know what that's about. I have no idea.
Coming to you live from Shadyside High. Only 2 days to go until senior prom, and anything could happen.
Gotcha.
Megan Rogers, principal's office right now.
Ooh, baby, do you
Miss Granger, this is your time to shine. This is the new shady side, the promise of a bright future. This is your chance to fulfill that promise.
I'm trying to win prom queen, but I am never gonna find a prom dress.
You're so gonna win prom queen.
You better believe I am.
Welcome, class of '88, to your senior prom.
Hi.
If you make a fool of me, this will be the end of you.
It's shady side.
When's it all going to go wrong?
I just saw something in the hallway.
You'll never be prom queen.
Megan, go! I know how it sounds. A whole bunch of people have disappeared. Where are all the prom queens? We're trapped! How do we get out of here?
Wowzers.
This is a very special night, and someone is ruining it! Put the music back on.
I'm going to cut the bitch that did this.
You having a good night?
All right, Fear Street Prom Queen 2025, directed by Matt Palmer. Matt Palmer worked on the screenplay with Donald McCleary based on R.L. Stein's book. Now, these all sort of tie in together in some way, shape, or form. This is the same. This one takes place in the 80s, whereas so now they've done 4 of these films. The first one was 1994. And then I think the second one was in the 70s, and then they went back to the 1600s for the origin of like the prequel of that series to show you kind of how everything happened. And then this takes place in the middle of it with the daughter of one of the people from the film from the 70s.
Yeah.
If I'm getting it all right. And it's a lot. So if I'm off, I'm off. But I do want to say that we said, these are a young adult book series, but these films are rated R. And they're fairly hard R's. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of violence. There's language. It's not, they don't hold back. These are not PG-13 horror movies made for teenagers to make out to on a Friday night in the theater.
Well, I mean, you can.
You can, but the films are more interesting. But you know what I mean, though? Like that shit, like it's not interesting. These films have more interesting themes going on. The stories are deeper. And, it's not, these are not just some throwaway slasher flick like some of those other ones, if that makes sense.
The first 3, I'll give you that, yeah. I'm not sold on this one yet.
At least
that's me.
In theory.
Yeah.
Starring India Fowler as Lori, Suzanne Sun as Megan, Fina Strauss as Tiffany, Catherine Watterson as Nancy. We get Lily Taylor, who is the vice principal, and Chris Klein, who plays one of the teachers and one of the dads. There's not really a whole lot of other recognizable faces in this. We got a lot of younger actors. They're doing their thing. The story is pretty simple. We have Lori Granger, whose mom was from the one that took place in the 70s. There's a situation where it's generally believed that her mother killed her father, but she wasn't convicted of it because there was no proof or anything. And she is kind of the outcast, but this is her senior year in high school, and she's doing what she can to be noticed and enjoy herself, so she decides to run for prom queen. The only problem is there's the popular group of girls led by Megan, who is the quote unquote it popular girl who leads she's the Regina George from Mean Girls, like the head of the cool girls.
I called her the Heather in charge.
The Heather in charge works too. Mean Girls is in that same world. So,
yep.
But this is definitely a nostalgia trip with all of your 80s stuff. Plenty of good 80s music, good 80s outfits, the feel. They mix in a lot of VHS footage from the girl at the school that works for the school TV station. So you get to see a lot of like the VHS stuff that's kind of worked into it. And I think they actually work it all in pretty good. It feels pretty legit.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It does. It's not all correct, but it feels legit. I was practically an adult in '88 when this was supposed to take place. So I remember where I was when I heard a lot of these songs, which was weird. I didn't expect that.
Anytime you give me a Belinda Carlisle song, I'm good to go. So
That was fine. That was fine. That was Tiffany.
Heaven is a Place on Earth?
Wait, oh no, I'm thinking
No, that's
of
Belinda
We're
Carlisle.
Alone Now. Tiffany was the one I wasn't sure because she has a weird career where people knew her song, but it wasn't on the radio because she was going to malls. And then it got on the radio. That was a weird thing. That was good for her. I like her. But there are a lot of songs here. Like the popular prom girl is not going to choose to put on a 9-year-old Billy Idol song, I don't believe. She looks like a top 40 Casey Kasem countdown.
yeah, but White Wedding was a huge hit.
It was. And then 6 years later, 88.
Is this supposed to be 8? I didn't catch that it was supposed to be 88.
It was class of 88. 88's written on the board out front of the school. Trust me,
All right.
when it comes to this type of thing, this the era that I lived in, it's exactly what we were talking about, I think, last week, where like if you show me a projection booth or somebody's going over lenses, one of us is going to have something to say about it.
Good point.
So there were two songs that came out 2 years after this movie was supposed to take place, but most of them were pretty okay.
Were they
Roxette was
songs
right
that
at
were
the right
used
time.
as overlays, or were they actually being played in the movie?
Well, considering there were no modern songs used, I consider the whole thing to have been the whole thing is 80s, like no matter what.
Right. And if there's songs that came out, 1989 or whatever, and they're not being used by the DJ in the film, you can get an escape there.
I don't know. No, not for me. This is I am you with cameras switching and found footage on this.
All right, that's fair.
It's anachronistic. If you set up your time thing, the thing is nobody went back in time, so there's no reason to have newer songs show up. Back to the Future, Eddie Van Halen? Yes, sure. What's her face in the movie that we can't remember the name of? She could have brought fucking No Doubt, White Zombie, anything back to the 80s, and that would have been fine because she would have had it on her. But if you do a movie set in the 80s, you gotta lock that shit down. I will say though that if any girl was menstruating, she could use whatever type of product she needs because any sanitary product would be period appropriate. Been waiting to use that terrible joke ever since I heard somebody else tell it.
That's fair. Anyway, so we've got Lori is the outcast. She's going to run for prom queen, plus Megan, and then a couple of Megan's friends, and then the local bad girl who is also the weed dealer. She's going to run too.
Yeah. And what state is this in?
We'll say California.
Okay, because it felt like a mid-country type of state.
I mean, it honestly could have been anywhere.
Because also, if this was California, they looked wrong.
You think
All
so?
of them. Yes. Not a single one of them had the proper hairstyle for the girls. Not one. What anybody that didn't live through it should know is that girls' hair sort of looked like if you draped a fur blanket over an easy chair. Okay? It would go straight up off the top of their head, and that was the back of the seat. And then the bangs would come down in the front, and that was the part you sit on, and then the rest of the hair. No one had big hair in this movie. One girl had almost
Just the mother was
crimped,
the only one.
frizzy hair. Yeah, and she shouldn't have. You know? But, are we talking about the mom with the black hair and the tracksuit? That one?
I don't remember. No, the Megan's mother.
Who's Megan? I don't know the
Megan was
names.
the main mean girl.
Yeah. Her mom, the one that wore the pink windbreaker outfit. Yeah, I can see her having the right hair, but everybody else should have too, especially on prom day.
Yeah,
So that
no, you're
pissed
not
me
wrong. You're not wrong.
That pissed me off. And in '88, nobody said "gag me with a spoon." Nobody said that seriously past 1984.
This film gave you a hair over your ass, huh?
This film is not set in the 80s. It's set in 1997. Just fucking do that if it's easier for you. You can't throw acid wash mom jeans on people and just say it's the 80s.
Interesting.
Right? You can't have hippies with buzz cuts, can you?
No, hey, dude, I'm not. I just don't think it didn't hit me the way it hit you.
Well, it said it was set in the 80s, so I was ready. And because the other ones, I didn't have any obvious issues. But when all of the girls look like girls today and not then, you're not fucking trying. So this movie had like 8 strikes against it to start with me. Not happy with it.
All right, fair. Well, they're all. I mean, and the thing is, we can't get real deep in this because the story's not very deep, really. You get your history, a basic history of Lori Granger being the outcast because her mom was accused of killing the father, and you don't really get much more after that. And unfortunately, the big hinge and the twist in the story relies on that, and you're not really given a lot of information. Mm-hmm. So, it is kind of what it is. I don't want to spoil it because it is a new film. But I mean, the killer starts knocking off the other people running for prom queen, and it became like a fucking hammer over the head who the killer was. Mm. And it played out exactly the way that I thought it was going to. And I felt like it was too easy. And then I started to then break down the writing in this movie, which is maybe why I didn't notice the lack of 80s aesthetic, because I was like, the writing is really not very good.
No, it's not. I don't see how anybody had the proper motivation to do what they did. I want my kids to do well. Am I going to kill other people, for instance, so that they can get a meaningless title? What does being prom queen mean a year after you're out of high school? Fucking nothing.
To everybody else, nothing. But to the person that wins it, it means everything.
Yeah, well, fucking grow up and get out of high school. You're out of high school. That's in the
Spoken
past.
like a guy who never won prom king.
Let me explain prom to you. My date to the senior prom won prom queen. My date.
Your date.
My date. Another person won king.
That's usually how it goes. That's how one of mine too. No, I mean,
that is not how it fucking goes. That right? That's just a couple, right?
No, mine was two different. Mine was two different people. It wasn't my date, but like, prom queen was one person and the king was somebody that was there with somebody else. It wasn't the couple.
Yeah, but nobody ran for it. It wasn't
no
thing. Your teachers chose it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they did.
Fuck them. But that's why I didn't. This one also hit me completely wrong because that's not how it's done. You don't run for it. I've never seen that.
But that's a staple of. That's a staple of these movies, though. Like,
I've always seen it with like Homecoming Queen or something like that, where you're voting for somebody
King
to
and Queen.
represent
I feel like I've seen tons of horror movies where there's like a situation like this thing, and I'm gonna suspend my belief on that just because it's the type of thing that they kind of worked out, Yeah,
no, that's fine. It's
for the story,
at least.
I'm
still a little sore that one of the kids that was a bully and used to beat the shit out of me danced with my date at prom.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it. She slept with my best friends and is a fucking whore. So anyway, regardless, I honestly think, and I say she's a whore, but I honestly think that woman has a sex addiction and she needed help.
Maybe.
For real. Like, I'm not making fun of her, the whore, but...
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny. It's just...
she was there's Doctor Who talks about points in time that are unchangeable, and I wish that was one I could change, because like I was innocent and what's the word? Not stupid, gullible, very gullible. I would take people at their word. Ugh. So maybe that's it. Maybe I got a whole thing about prom.
Yeah, I don't think it's the movie itself. I think it's your personal experience.
It was definitely fucking up the time that it was set in with the clothing and everything.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there. Also, I can come from another side of this. I was basically a prom date for hire, so I went to 9 proms in my time. Okay.
So
I can speak on the prom levels for a couple of different levels here and a couple of different years.
I can't. I don't know that much.
I mean, every prom I went to, and I went to 9. 8 or 9. Went to 9. Everyone had a prom king and a queen.
Hmm.
I would say most of them were not a couple. I will also say that I never voted for a prom king or queen in any of them. And I also never went to one that took place in like the high school gym.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
where-
That's a thing that is in the movies you see all the time where the prom takes place at the school. I
that's
never
like-
went to one. Junior high
Isn't that more
dances
like
was the only
homecoming?
one. Well, homecoming is
should
another
be
one
there,
too.
right?
Well, like Travis has got his homecoming dance tonight, and it's not at the school.
Oh, okay. Our senior
that?
prom was in some hotel in Boston. I can't remember.
Yeah, my senior prom was at a hotel, I think in Andover.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So like, but I
based
never
on
I
where
went
you
to
were,
9,
yeah.
and none of them took place at the school.
Yeah, the only dances we had at school were in elementary. Because we
We didn't have
go to
any
the
elementary.
gym.
Our junior high dances took place in the cafeteria. It's the only one.
I said elementary, but we were 6th and 7th grade, so that was like middle school age. So, but we had a junior high that was only 8th and 9th grade, or 8th grade at the time. Yeah, I went there for
Junior
1
high
year.
is
Yeah,
7th and is normally 7th and 8th grade,
Yeah.
middle, or they put it into middle school.
Yeah, we were in the cusp of we're changing the junior high to a middle school, so we were the first freshman class in the high school in decades, from what I understand. It was weird. It's weird.
All right, let's get back to the movie. We're using our own personal experiences too much in this.
I guess if we have. Yeah.
So the killer starts to knock off the competition. It became painfully obvious who the killer was, and then there's another scene where you get a point where like, oh, well, maybe there's more than one killer.
Yeah, like
well,
when
actually,
you
there's
see
no
two
maybe.
of them.
Yeah, you see 2 of them, so there's definitely.
And then it's never addressed. Not directly.
Well,
I mean,
the
you know who
issue-
it is. But
well, the
it's-
issue is they actually do a cover up on that pretty good because the only person that saw 2 killers was killed.
Right.
So nobody knew there was
yeah.
more than one.
That's fair. That's fair. But then they didn't do anything with that. Well, they sort of. Okay, never mind.
Well, the whole thing just it all kind of like comes together quickly. Like in terms of the prom starts less than halfway through the movie. So then the remainder of the movie, for the most part, except for the final scene, takes place the night of the prom and during the prom. So their attempt to kind of build this tension isn't given enough time to really play itself out because you have one of the girls is knocked off before prom night, and then they start to disappear throughout the actual prom.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot to really grasp onto, and the whole thing too is whether Lori is going to win prom queen over Megan, who is the it girl.
Yeah. I would like to point out that the janitor was named Stoker, and our main character, who is chased by a masked villain, is named Laurie. And like, come on, be a little deeper with your references.
Yeah, I have nothing on whether any of that stuff was in the books either.
No, but it's definitely.
No, I know I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying like I don't know if that's something they took from the books that they renamed the characters. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Doesn't really matter. So they start to get knocked off. The kills are bloody, but also very pedestrian.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's no Jason X stuff in here.
no. But then there is a scene where the killer just kind of, after the prom queen has been announced, the killer starts to just kind of carve their way through the whole prom itself during the coronation. And there's this other side note of the boyfriend of the popular girl likes the unpopular girl and all of that stuff. But the problem really is in the writing that they don't take the time to kind of show a lot of this relationship building. Why does this guy have a crush on the girl? And like it's briefly teased that they've known each other for a very long time and he's finally sick of the popular girl's bullshit. Like, okay, I get all that, but like you got time to get us there.
Yeah.
Everything with this movie felt rushed. Like,
the
writing feels rushed. The play out feels rushed. Your character building feels rushed.
But somehow the movie felt twice as long as it was. To me, at least.
I didn't think it felt long. But it felt like we got to everything too quickly and then didn't do anything with it.
That to me is what makes it feel long. It's like all your shit's lined up. Fucking knock it down. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they knock it down too quickly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really you're not wrong, man. It kind of gets stagnant, but also at the same time they solve all their problems too fast.
Yeah,
So-
and then it stagnates again, weirdly, almost after everything is resolved. And it felt really weird. I don't know. That could be just me, but it felt like there was this huge lull before the final set of action scenes that they were doing. I don't know. I didn't like this. There we go. I did not
That's
like
fair.
this.
That's fair. And let's just grade it. All right, Chris, do you recommend and what's your grade for Fear Street Prom Queen?
No, this one I am not going to recommend. The other ones were fine. This one felt like, hey, those other ones did really good. We should make another one of them really quick. And the attention to detail is lacking, like it is in any movie set in the past. So, no. Hire a continuity editor. Have them ask their phone, Siri, what year did The Look by Roxette come out? And if it's 89, don't fucking use it.
Oh my God, that dance scene. The dance scene is just so cringeworthy.
Yeah. None of those
Neither
songs
of them
that
could
they played.
dance.
Yeah.
Neither of
but
them
none
could
of the
dance.
shit that they played was anything you would regularly hear at a dance. Where the fuck was Lady in Red? That song was played for 15 fucking years after it came out. That's a slow dance song in the 80s. You know that.
Yeah.
It wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was somebody that has watched movies about the 80s. Like, you want to make movies about the 80s, fucking watch The Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink. People dress, that was their clothes at the time. It was their own fucking wardrobe for some of those people. I don't know. Netflix has really just dropped off my radar as a streaming service. I don't go to it like at all anymore. And this is why.
I get my
Oh no, I'm
documentaries
sorry.
from
I'm
them.
sorry. It's not why. I don't go to them because they canceled Mindhunters and Glow. That's why. Mindhunters was great. And
Did you know
Glow,
this was
I'm-
filmed in the same place they filmed Prom Night? Same school? Filmed in Ontario, Canada, where the original 1980 Prom Night was filmed. The new school this one was filmed at is called Hamilton High. Hamilton High is the name of the original Prom Night school.
See, you spend a lot of time being clever, but not enough time writing your fucking movie. As a novel, I could see how that could work out because you get a lot of internal monologue stuff going on that you can't do in this. You can't do a Blade Runner monologue in a slasher. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But in a book, you can have all kinds of internal stuff going on. And this is just missing a lot of stuff. So I'm not going to recommend it, right? That's where we are. I'm doing that. And I'm going to give this a D. This is bad. The acting, the actresses, the main few, they were good. I did not believe the Regina King, George girl, as a mean girl. She did not look like a mean girl. She looked like a nerd. She didn't have it in the eyes. Bullies have something in their eyes that's distinguishable. Like, this is going to sound really bad, but I was watching those monkeys in Taiwan and the Philippines that get really mad when you trick them and don't give them food. And somebody was trying to hand it a cucumber and kept pulling it away. And the look in the monkey's eyes is a look I have seen directed at me when I piss off a bully. It was weird. So what I'm saying is bullies are about as smart as tiny little monkeys in Taiwan. Come at me. Anyway, I had something else to say about this and I don't remember what it was, but it's a D. It's almost a D minus. Like,
Okay.
I started watching this and I said, this isn't the 80s. This is 1994. And then it didn't get any better from there. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up your costume straight off the bat. If it's a period piece, you can't do Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and ever wearing fucking Z Cavaricis. You know?
Man, I'd kill for a pair of Cavariccis now.
Me too. I want somebody to start making parachute pants again. I like them. They're
They
comfortable.
do make parachute pants. You can get them.
Where?
A little place called the Internet.
P-A-R-A-C.
All right, while you look at parachute pants, I'm going to talk about my.
Oh, you know what the problem might have been? I know what the problem was. I was too fat before. That's what it was. Now I can fit into them. Thanks. You
Okay.
just sent me down a dark path.
My bad.
That's all right.
So, I'm not going to recommend it either. I definitely didn't hate it nearly as much as Chris did, but I'm not going to recommend it either. Acting is fine. The girls did the best they could with what they were given, but the writing is just really poor in this.
Oh yeah, the actresses
and
are good.
that wasn't the situation with the other ones. The writing wasn't the problem. And as for R.L. Stein, I don't know. Like I've read some of the Goosebumps books when I was younger, but like I'm not really like good with R.L. Stein stuff.
Right.
So I don't know how much was changed, how much of the feel was. So I can only go on how the film went, and the film went, pretty poorly. It was not characters weren't flushed out. The dialogue is wooden, and it's not that the actress delivering wooden dialogue. The dialogue is written poorly, so therefore it comes across really wooden.
They did the best they could. Honestly, I have no problem with any of the actors in this. I think they understood the part and what they needed to do, and they did it. It was just poorly directed, I guess, is the way to go.
Right. So, yeah, it's barely fine for me. I'm not going to grade it as low as Chris. I'll go with D+, C-. It's the weakest of the four that we've seen. I know this is the first in a new trilogy, from what I gather.
No.
So I think the next one is supposed to take place in the 1950s.
Okay. You know what? I'll enjoy that because I'm not as up to date on my 50s fashion.
We'll see.
You can get close.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'll probably piss off.
But so I know R.L. Stein's confirmed that there's a new trilogy coming, and this is the first one in the trilogy. So, but there's little Easter eggs like the name Sarah Fear was in there, written in graffiti. That's the original witch from the one that took place in the 1600s. So they're tying it all together, and there's a post-credit sequence too, or a mid-credit sequence too, where the witch symbol shows up, which is if you follow the other ones, you'll see that where it's connected.
I didn't recognize it at first, and I'm like, oh, that better not be the fucking seal on the Necronomicon I'm seeing. Don't bring that racist Lovecraft into this. He doesn't deserve it.
Anyway,
but if you say it was the symbol of the witch, then that makes way more sense.
I think it was at least. I didn't go back and compare, but I just remember the symbol from the witches in the other series. So
yeah,
it's all going to be tied together. So I give them credit for working with what they got. I can't imagine these films necessarily cost them that much to make. So this is a bad one. That doesn't mean, the other ones, I would recommend the other three. The first two specifically, the Fear Street 1666, it is, I think, the weakest of the three, but it's definitely better than this.
Yeah.
So that's I'll give C-, maybe D+. It's fine. It's fine for what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let us move on then to Please Don't Feed the Children.
Our parents, teachers, families were wiped out. Only adults were infected, and most were killed. They blame kids for the outbreak. Escaping is the goal.
Find a hospital now! No, we can't. They're gonna arrest us.
It's a big house.
They could have supplies.
What do you want? I'm not supposed to take in children.
Please, you have to help us.
Come on.
I'll make some cookies. Isn't this fun? Terrible guests.
You wake up. She drugged us.
Get undressed and clean yourselves. That's better. Smile.
Why am I here?
I like you, Mary.
She's up to something. I'm gonna find out what it is.
Are we behaving?
Did you treat your own daughter like this?
Shut up. You're saying I was a bad mother. I think we're becoming friends. Have a taffy, dear.
Don't be afraid. I'll be a good mother.
car's abandoned right down the road.
Some detective you are.
I'm just scared.
You have no idea.
Okay. Please Don't Feed the Children 2025. Tubi original or exclusive. I'm not entirely sure whether they've had any of the funding in this or not, but the big thing here is this is directed by Destry Allen Spielberg, who is Kate Capshaw and Steven Spielberg's daughter.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, you're gonna get some good looking footage because she's not gonna have any issue getting money
Yeah.
to put together a film.
And not to mention, she's had private film lessons her whole life from Steven Spielberg.
Right. So this is written by Paul Bertolino. I don't know much about Paul. The only two things he has that are 2 writing credits, one for this and one for something from 2011 called The Intervention. So don't know much about that, but the film is very simple. There is a zombie outbreak essentially that has gone across the world. It seems like it has been put under control in this world that they live in because everyday life seems to somewhat still go on for most adults. I mean, they stop at a gas station and there's a person working at the gas station selling food and like all that stuff. The police seem to still be working, but there's an overhanging presence of military and stuff because this virus that has gone out does not seem to affect children.
Yeah.
So it's the type of thing now where you have to suspend a little bit of disbelief because you're given info in a voiceover by your lead, Zoe Colletti, who plays Mary, of this disease and this outbreak came. It didn't affect children. It only affected adults. So adults blame the children, and now children are basically arrested and put into like camps and stuff.
Yeah.
For reasons, I guess.
Yeah, reasons is a good way to put that, yeah.
Yeah, because there's reasons for it. They were just not told what they are. It just sounds like a blame thing where, the children aren't sick, so they must be behind it.
They're going to hurt us, so we need to get rid of them.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially. So Mary gets together with Ben, Jeffy, Vicky, and Seth, who are a group of other orphan children that are working their way to survive on the streets. They've got a minivan that they're using, and they're trying to get away and cross the border down south. Things don't go the way they want them to when they're shut up. Why are you barking? Oh, Travis is home. That's why.
Oh,
Travis is home. Well, that makes sense. Okay, then I understand why he was barking. All right, so so they are going to a gas station to steal some food. Get in and get out. Of course, things don't go the way they're supposed to. One of the kids ends up getting shot, and then Mary, ends up shooting the store clerk, and now they're on the run.
yeah.
So their car eventually breaks down. Their minivan breaks down, but they got one of the guys, Ben, who's been shot in the shoulder, is bleeding out, and they need to get him help. So they see a large house off in the distance. They go to this house. They set an alarm off. But a woman comes to the door and is basically
I like the alarm.
Yeah, the alarm was cool.
All the red in the windows, that was nice. Yeah.
So she comes to the door, sees that one of them is hurt, and is like, listen, I'm not supposed to help you, but I'm going to because I see someone's injured. I'm a nurse. I can help. So they come in. She patches this dude up. She sews up his shoulder and helps him out. And then she's like, it's really nice to have company. Just so you know, my husband is a police officer, but I'm not going to say anything. So if you guys want to stay, I'll make some cookies. We'll hang out. And then, we can figure it from there or whatever.
Yeah.
But, of course, ulterior motives. And if you watch the trailer, it's not a surprise that she is playing them and she drugs the food she gives them and they all pass out. But the interesting thing here is that the kids aren't really looking to stay. They're going to steal her car and go on their own.
Yeah,
so
they
it's
want
kind
to
of
just keep going, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of this thing where you're like, at first you're like, well, she's being good to these kids and she's helping them out and they're just going to steal from her.
That's what, yeah. But you've seen the trailer, so.
Yeah, but then everything changes.
Yeah.
And she holds them captive she is trying to use Mary to replace a daughter that she lost. I'm assuming it's actually never really made clear.
No, but it makes sense.
It makes sense because she's got a room there and there's kids' clothes and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's holding the other kids upstairs hostage. And then there's a dark secret in the basement.
Well, not if you think about it for a second.
No, but for them, I'm talking.
For them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris,
Yeah.
being the zombie fan,
Yes.
how's the execution in this?
This movie did in an hour and a half what Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse did in 10 minutes. Right? That's the ultimate payoff of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
The reveal in the basement? Yeah.
Yep.
No. This was a lot of different movies mashed together, and it was acted very well, but the plot was so basic. Like, it's misery and a few other things. Not Rats in the Walls. That's different. Now, what am I talking about with the little kid Roach? Is People Under the Stairs? Like, it's all that stuff boiled up into a stew that resembles all of it, but just tastes bland.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the main woman, she was a great actress. All of them were. Most of them were pretty good actors.
Yeah, Michelle Dockery is actually she's very well known to most people, but not us, because she is Lady Mary on Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay. I knew I saw her somewhere before, but
Yeah,
I
you've definitely
don't
seen
watch
her
that
around,
show.
and she was in a Mark Wahlberg movie I watched earlier this year too. So
She's good. She's got the right face for, and might sound weird, but until you see it, may not make sense. She has the right face for the type of person she was portraying. I don't know how that makes sense, but like we were talking about how the school bully, she didn't look like a school bully in the other one that we did, but this woman absolutely looks like the kind of person that can be maniacal and unbelievably kind at the same time. It's difficult for some people to do, but she did it really good. I got to compliment that at least.
yeah, I think this is another situation where the actors did the best they could with what they were given.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looked fantastic. I thought all of the outside shots were great. Like, there was a lot of
I
good
mean, if you're
looking
Steven
stuff.
Spielberg's daughter, your film better look good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it
if
really
you're Tubi
should.
or whoever's financing this and you're looking at this, you're like, we better make sure this looks good.
Yeah.
I was
But it
curious,
did.
actually.
But it did. It didn't have to, but it did. It could have been a cheap thing, but
Shane
got
Sigler was the main cinematographer and the DP on this. And I am not super familiar with their work.
okay.
Director of photography on an HBO Max series. Actually, it looks like cinematographer for a few HBO series here.
Okay.
Catching
That's
Fire.
not bad.
All right, we'll continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Where are we going with this next?
I mean, it would look good. The script is where, again, this kind of falls apart. And I really, in the front half hour, 40 minutes of this, I was on board, man. I was like, okay, yeah, I like where we're going here. I know this isn't a story that hasn't been told before. It's not doing anything that's particularly different or groundbreaking, but I love the idea of the like small story within the larger apocalypse.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't muddy it down by bringing in too much. We just know that, there's been this outbreak of zombies, but we know that, or at least we understand that it's fairly under control, and then the different parts of the world are dealing with it in different ways.
Yeah.
Because the children are trying to get to, they're like trying to get to like Venezuela or something through these tunnels. Because apparently the kids aren't being herded away or hunted.
Yeah.
But we don't really get a whole lot of that. And then when
No,
the kids
because
are
to them it's sort of like a myth. They're hoping it's true, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like a line where, just so you know, those tunnels were closed anyway.
Yeah. And they have a little bit of a crisis, a mental crisis when they learn that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But essentially, you know, there's like the dark secret in the basement is, I mean, it's not, if you're watching the film, like it's one of two things, and it is one of those two things. So, as you kind of have that in the background, and she kind of slowly, like, you know, feeds these kids to the big evil or whatever. That's kind of where it all kind of starts to fall apart, because I'm just like, where are we going with this? Where did this come from? Who is she? Like, there's not enough character on your big bad here, because she's obviously diabolical and has these dark things going on. But I'm just kind of like, well, where? I mean, it's as simple as, you know, she lost her family and she's doing whatever she can to survive and keep that as being part of her world or whatever. And she's using Mary as like the default daughter, and then the other kids, like, it seems like if they play ball with her, then maybe they'll be able to, you know, live somewhat of a life. And then you got the cop that shows up that used to be friends with the husband, and like, it's just a lot of things that have potential that don't ever meet that potential.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Am I alone in that?
No, they build up a lot of stuff and then it just kind of happens.
Yeah. And then it finishes and it's over.
Yeah.
It's not like bad per se.
No.
But it just never gets to the point where it needs to get to.
Yep.
And there's also no real, like, there's a tiny bit of violence at the end of it, but like, it's not that you have to have violence, but I feel like anytime you have a zombie movie or an outbreak movie like this, like, you need some high level kill action to kind of show your stakes.
Yeah.
If you will. And they don't ever really do that with this.
No, they tried to by bringing it all up at the end. Like this is what they're going to face now going forward, but it didn't. I mean, it only came off like that after I thought about it for a little bit. Yeah. I like this more than 28 years later.
That's not saying much, though.
No, it's not. This was a better story. This was a better story about survivors, I think, than the other one. I think this is a fair way to say it, because at least this woman has her shit together, and only people that show up at her house are in danger. So that was something. It kind of makes her more like Jaws. You don't want to get bit, don't go in the water. Oh, problem solved. You don't want to die. Kill yourself because you're a kid. I say that in the context of the movie, because they're going to kill you if they catch you. Some of those kids gave in way too fast. Like, one of them just seemingly resigned herself to death and then freaked out when she realized she was going to die. That sent some confusing mixed messages.
Yeah,
So,
and
you noticed that, though. At least that's.
I know, I definitely noticed it. And to kind of piggyback on that, when she's like grooming Mary to be the daughter, we never get like a what happened to them. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, I think
like,
it's
we know
just
that something bad has happened to them, but like, there's no point where like they sit down to dinner and she tells her the story of what happened to her daughter or what happened to her husband. Like, we don't get that, and that's that emotional connection you kind of need in a story like this to be able to understand her motivations. Yeah,
I had something. What was it? Fuck, I forgot. I'll remember. Sorry, my brain is pulling me in 6 different ways with all the different shit I want to say.
That's understandable.
It was a story that could have been really tense and really good, but all the stuff with Moff Gideon outside looking around never really paid off in any kind of danger for her. All of the shit that ended up going wrong was because she wants to keep people prisoner, but she doesn't know how to fucking do it.
Right.
And she should have been caught a lot sooner. I don't understand how 6 kids can get locked in a room and they can't overwhelm this woman.
Yeah, and I also don't understand how long that she's been doing this. How many people has she done this to? Has it been an ongoing thing for years, or like?
Yeah, and there's no way to tell.
All it would have taken is one thing from, what's his name from The Boys? You said Moff Gideon. I can't remember his name from The Boys.
Giancarlo Giannini, is that how
Yeah.
you say it? Okay.
Either way.
I like
I
him.
mean,
Yeah.
I do too. But like all it would have taken is a throwaway line from him and be like, Clara, a lot of people seem to go missing near you. Over the years, a lot of people have come through here that have seemed to just disappear.
Yeah, and he could have
like
actually
anything.
He could have said that to like his deputy. And then she wouldn't even have any idea. But
Right.
he wasn't the problem, because we're supposed to believe that he just sort of doesn't trust her. But we're never given any reason why. It's not like he said, we're still looking for your husband's body. He has to be out there somewhere, and I swear we will find him and bring him home.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's grade. All right. Don't feed the children, Chris.
Don't watch this movie. No, this is okay. It's not great. It's not, I wouldn't even consider calling it good unless we're talking about some of the acting and how it looks. And some of the makeup effects, actually, really good toward the end.
Yeah, the one zombie we get looked pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. It was a little bit different than normal, and it was okay. Okay, there was a lot of aging on him, which I thought looked good on the flesh and everything, but this is a story that they did in Alien, whatever the last one was that I can't remember, Covenant. It was the same story. Bunch of kids want to get away. They come across something that wants to kill them. And there we go.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a very simple story. Yeah, it's people hunted. It's if you have a teenager, fine. They might like this because they don't have the 30, 40, whatever years of slasher movies and people under the stairs stuff that we do, where we can look at it and say, oh, that other one was just The Town That Dreaded Sundown and My Bloody Valentine smashed together. And this one is 6 other movies smashed together. But the kids never got themselves riled up to the point where you believed they thought they were in danger. If a woman captures me and I'm 15, 16, 17 years old, she's going to die if this is the situation I'm in. Me and 8 other people, okay, I'm going to stand by the back of the door, and when she opens it, we're going to hit her with it. You guys run up and grab her gun real fast, kill her, and we'll just live in her house until the cops show up. And then we'll run away. Like, there's no plan. They make nothing. No plan
right.
at all. They're like fucking sea cucumbers. They just sit there. And whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't try to get out. The fucking idiot comes across matches and they don't light the house on fire. The woman was asleep in the chair and the kid had matches. And she didn't burst into flames. These kids didn't want to escape if you watch their behavior. And that's what pissed me off. So I'm not recommending this. I'm going to give it a D+. It looked nice. But ultimately, our characters were morons. All of them except Moff Gideon. He was kind of dumb in the end, too.
This film is like the definition of fine.
Yeah,
like,
it really
there's nothing terribly wrong with it. But there's also nothing special about it either. And it's kind of one of those things where when you have a child of or a sibling or somebody that is related to, one of the all-time greats and being Spielberg's daughter, like that, there's a lofty expectation that comes with that. And it's kind of a no-win situation.
Yeah.
But we've seen, like, Cronenberg's kid has made a couple of really interesting flicks. So, like...
Oh, yeah.
It just, like... It can happen. It just didn't happen here. Again, not bad. Looked good. Everyone did the best they could. The writing was poor. So, that's the decision-making there is on the writing.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna give it a C-. I like this better than the other film we did this week.
Yeah.
It's not borderline D+. It's definitely C-. And it's fine. Like,
right.
If you check it out, cool. Like, I'm not saying don't check it out. I'm just, if you want to watch it and you think it sounds interesting, yeah, check it out. You might really like it. Some people liked it. Some people hated it. I'm very middle road on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can really say about it, really.
I'm not upset I watched it, but I am a little aggravated that they cribbed so much from other stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
yeah.
All right.
I also had a
feed
thought.
The children.
I had a thought while I was watching this. Was the kid in People Under the Stairs was named Roach, right? Or was that the kid that was already in the walls that turned into a McPoyle later?
I think it's the second. Yeah, the kid in the walls.
Oh, okay, never mind then. It doesn't make sense.
I don't remember, to be honest. I don't. I haven't seen People Under the Stairs in probably 20 years.
Yeah. Me too. Which means I'll watch it tonight, probably.
Fair enough.
Fool. That was his name. The little kid's name was Fool. I thought that he was called Roach because he was related to Ving Rhames' character, and he was just a little version of him.
Okay.
Right? Because a roach is the tiny bit left over on a rolled joint. So I thought, like, it's a tiny little bit of the big guy.
Well, that makes sense.
But it wasn't that, so I don't know what's going on.
There you go. All right. Well, speaking of making sense, Joe is back this week with the second film in the Purge series. Let's see what he thinks.
Well, hello, Bill. Hello, Chris. And hello, OTC Nation. It's your boy Joe here, and this week Bill took me to a strangely empty Los Angeles. So he made me watch The Purge, Anarchy. I'm a little surprised that after the success of The Purge, nobody thought to come up with an associated game show. But like one based around consumerism, like The Price is Right. Call it The Splurge. It's like Supermarket Sweep, but instead of the occasional cart bump while contestants try to find items as they're hustling down the aisles, like they hit each other with barbed wire wrapped baseball bats and throw Molotov cocktails into the deli section.
Yeah.
Fuck your sale on honey roasted ham. There's a few movies I wish I wasn't surprised they haven't tried in real life yet. Considering our prison industrial complex, I dare you to tell me that you don't think that they've at least considered something akin to The Running Man.
Oh, yeah, they have. I'm sure.
We'll get Drew Carey to host. It'll be great. Especially since half the country thinks prisoners don't deserve humane treatment anyway.
They don't think normal people deserve it either.
Nestle and Walmart won't starve people to the point where they're willing to take part in the Hunger Games? Sponsored by Nestle and Walmart? Yeah. We kind of have a Lord of the Flies light with Survivor, but that show is bullshit because in 20-something seasons, not one contestant has attacked Jeff Probst with a sharpened stick and cooked him over a makeshift campfire. I hope the immunity idol is filled with A1 steak sauce. That's all I'm saying. Considering the popularity of Fortnite, I think a lot of the younger generations would jump at the chance to do a battle royale situation. Until they actually get into the battle royale situation, and then they're just like crying 6-7, 6-7 into the camera, ducking bullets like they're in Detroit in the late 70s. One thing about this Purge sequel I'm digging more than the OG is that we are, at least based on the trailer, spending our time on the street with regular people. You know, the people genuinely and probably irreversibly affected by this. Suck it, Ethan Hawke. Oh, wait. He died. Still, the point stands. Okay, Purge Anarchy. You got me with character actors John Beasley, who we last saw for 2 minutes in Sinister 2. He's only in this for about 10. And one of my favorites, Michael K. Williams. If you're a Community mark like me, you know that like his half-season arc as a parolee turned biology teacher was a highlight of the entire series.
It was. You guys have
Here
weird
we're
reactions to
following,
things.
Two separate groups at first, a waitress struggling to take care of her dad and daughter, as well as a young couple on the verge of a breakup. I'm sure at no point would these people meet up and have to survive together. That would be, and I'm kind of coining a term based on what Chris said last week, that would be Blumhouse obvious. And that didn't take long. We're adding a guy who's going full taxi driver into the mix. Single mom and annoying daughter's building gets raided by professionals / seemingly military. More on them later. Taxi driver goes against his instinct because he's obviously on a mission to do something or kill someone. And he helps them, and that's when the Break-Uppersons run up all helpless like a couple of abandoned bunnies, and we're off to the literal races. It's not lost on me that someone obviously watched The Warriors before writing this, because it plays out very similarly, at least for the first 2/3. They're trying to get to single mom's friend's apartment to find a safe house before Taxi Driver can move on with whatever he's got to do and run into all matter of perjure. That didn't sound right. It sounded like I was talking about somebody lying in court. They run into a bunch of people purging.
Yes.
Know, tense. Crazy lady shouting Bible stuff while randomly shooting passersby? Check. The gang with the mask that became iconic in the trailer? Check. Semi-trucks filled with lots of tech and military dudes and like a menacing sounding leader? Chickadee check. My guess is, early on, that those fucks are doing damage to bring down the value of certain properties so that they can be easily bought later.
RoboCop 3.
Tomorrow. Tonight we're a bit busy. Oh, and we even get a glimpse into what would happen if the purge happened during a dysfunctional family Thanksgiving. Because when they do finally make it to single mom's friend's family apartment building as like a safe house, shit gets wild. Like that part was actually pretty funny. Darkly funny, but still. There's a whole big section where a bunch of society people who looked like they belong in, well, the movie Society. And they're doing the class thing. They're auctioning off people kidnapped from the street to hunt for sport. But this was where the movie got a little bit hammy and, if you can believe it, on the nose for a movie that actually does a very good job of keeping the violence and the people doing the menacing, as well as the schmucks just trying to survive, relatively realistic. Like, surprisingly so. Taxi Driver has something to do, though, once they survive. His son was killed by a drunk driver in a pedestrian/car accident. And while it's understandable, he definitely has a misguided sense of what's going to help him move forward in life. We're almost at the credits when Taxi Driver does not take the test. He took 2 to the chest. Sorry about that. The military guys are actually military. They hunt down heroes and people who are helping other people during the purge because they don't want the numbers going down. And for people to turn their backs on purging. And boy, if that's not the most realistic thing in this movie, I don't know what is. Other than back, most realistic, other than back when single mom's friend gets drunk and shoots her mouth off until her sister fucking shoots her. That part was great. Here's the thing. The good, it is fast-paced, as an on-the-ground during the Purge movie should be. It's big, but not too big. Apart from the Richie Rich society scene, the social commentary and class are as sharp as they should be. I'm definitely not mad at this one. The bad. Well, I did make a POD Youth of the Nation joke a few paragraphs back, and I don't know where that came from. So that was, yeah, that's my bad. That's on me. Also, the streets of Los Angeles would never, ever, 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 ever be this empty, even on Purge night.
Yeah.
The city of LA alone has 3.8 million people, and there's 9.7 million people in Los Angeles County. And these chuckle fucks are running around streets so empty, it looks like Friday the 13th Part 8 supposed to take part in Manhattan, and these chuckle fucks are running around from Jason, and there's like nobody. It's New fucking York. People would be yelling out their streets at the fucking guy in the hockey mask to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Though it was realistic in that it took them all goddamn night to get from one end of Los Angeles to the other.
Okay.
That shit doesn't require a purge. That's just a regular Tuesday. Purge Anarchy was actually really good. B+. B+.
Interesting.
Bill, the movie you were thinking was your least favorite is the next one. The Purge Election Year.
Yes.
I'll be back with that next week. Until then, wait for it. Be good, everyone.
All right.
Good.
He's making his way through it. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
He's going to do it.
Yeah.
And speaking of doing it, Here's Scott.
You know what it's time for?
To do it. Crop of new freshman titties.
Don't you mean holy shit with Reverend Scott?
Crop of new freshman titties.
Okay, fine.
You guys want titties? We got titties.
Yeah, Puss and Podcasts. Ew. Terrible. I channeled Dennis Reynolds.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
With Reverend Scott.
You want to think of Little Destiny's Child, little jumpin', or Bootylicious, or Bills.
No, I didn't listen
or
to that.
Say my name. You know, dude.
I know that one, yeah.
D Child had some bangers, is all I'm saying.
Probably.
Hey there, Bill and Chris. And hand on the Bible, I swear to tell nothing but the truth. So believe me when I tell you, this is Reverend Scott.
As big a butt plug as the guy is, like, he knows he can't lie under oath.
Yup, that's true. So this week, you're finally going to get an honest review out of me.
What?
Like, what the fuck?
I hope you appreciate me doing a review this week, seeing as though Friday is my birthday, so I'm not really obligated to do shit.
Thank you to Scott for just being Scott.
Yeah.
This week I saw Begonia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't really care. It's a self-proclaimed black comedy, ... I'll be the judge of that. This comes from director Yorgos Lanthimos. He's the guy that did The Favorite with Emma Stone in 2018, and Poor Things with Emma Stone 2 years ago, and Kinds of Kindness with Emma Stone a year ago, and now Begonia with Emma Stone this year. I'm not sure what kind of dirt she has on him, but it must be some good shit. Maybe she has some blackmail photos of him before he shaved his head.
He had a ponytail.
Did he, though?
Well, yes, and also no.
Begonia follows two young men. Teddy Gatz, played masterfully by one of my favorites, Jesse Plemons, and Don, his quote-unquote intellectually challenged cousin. He's played by 19-year-old Aidan Delby, I don't know. After seeing some interviews with him, he kind of just acts the way he is. I get the impression that he kind of dumbs himself down a lot for this film, but his unique way of speaking remains the same. But I think this movie might be something Chris would find rather fascinating. You see, Teddy is a guy that has spent a lot of time in the old echo chamber on social media. He is convinced that aliens called Andromedans have infiltrated the Earth, and he is the only one that can save our planet now. He spends most of his time either researching online or taking care of his bees or teaching Don all of his wisdom, mostly gaslighting him, because they need to be strong for what he's planning. They have to be focused, so focused that they can't have any distractions, especially not sex. So he has them both get chemically castrated, as you would. I know this is supposed to be a black comedy, but I legit was a bit upset seeing Teddy manipulate Don into taking that shot, despite Don saying he kind of wanted to have a family one day.
I'm starting to feel bad. Thanks, dude.
Teddy has developed a plan to kidnap, interrogate, and get all the information he needs to save everyone from what he thinks is an Andromedan posing as a female CEO for the company that he works for in the factory taping boxes. Michelle Fuller, which is Emma Stone's character, is this uber-rich, out-of-touch CEO that spends a lot of time patting herself on the back because she told her employees they can actually leave at 5:30 when their day is over if they want to, but they don't have to. If they have stuff to do, they can stay. But, you can leave if you want. You won't get in trouble. And she made that kind of decision just with the snap of her fingers. I'm sure employees just really love her.
Jesus Christ. You know what's going to snap? Fucking people. People are going to snap, and they're going to go get their benefits.
Meanwhile, her company is testing drugs on people with less than stellar results. Well, one day, after I can only imagine was a really rigorous 1 hour or so of work, she leaves the office and goes back home, only to get ambushed by Teddy and Don in reflective bodysuits with Jennifer Aniston face masks on to hide their identity. Michelle proceeds to lay Don out in one punch and beat up Teddy with her self-defense moves she practices daily. Eventually, Teddy drugs her with a needle and knocks her out, which is what he probably should have done to start with.
Yeah, sadly it is.
They drive her in her own car back to their house and hide the car and tie her up in the basement, but only after Teddy has Don shave Michelle's head completely so she can't communicate back to her mothership, and then they put antihistamine cream all over her to lower her alien powers.
That all seemed kind of normal.
Once they have her tied up, Teddy and Don put on suits and then begin to interrogate her. They ask her repeatedly if she's an alien from Andromeda, and at first she tries to talk complete logic to Teddy about how she's one of very few high-profile CEOs that are women, and they'll find her within 48 hours. The cops should be there anytime, so they should probably just let her go and they won't get in trouble. Of course, that doesn't work. Then she denies being an alien, which I have a feeling most people would try and do that, but she realizes pretty quickly that there's no swaying Teddy's delusions. So she fully admits that she's an alien. But that's not good enough for Teddy either. He just keeps asking her if she's an alien, but never seems satisfied with what she says.
Yes or no? No.
Right.
Yes or no? You can
They
spell
should
it
be
out
allowed-
to me,
Yeah.
Y-E-S or N-O,
Right.
yes or no.
But Teddy's really going to need her help if he's going to have any chance of speaking with the Emperor of Andromeda in 4 days when the lunar eclipse happens while the mothership can actually approach the Earth. He eventually resorts to some good old-fashioned electrotherapy with an electric chair. He almost blows out his entire electrical system and almost kills her in the process as he cranks that thing up. Teddy is so sure that he's right that not even Don can deter him at this point.
I have the sunk cost fallacy going on in here where I have made this my life. And if I'm wrong, what is that going to do to me? I better just double down.
So by now, Michelle will pretty much say anything to Teddy to try and save her ass, and she also starts to recognize Teddy. She realizes that Teddy's mom was one of the people her company tested on, and his mom is still in a coma to this day. Her company paid his family off, but the damage to Teddy was already done. Teddy may work for Michelle's company taping up boxes, but his real job is saving the planet now. I'll let you decide if you think he's good at his job.
Nah, I'm going to say he's not good at his job.
Oh, at his job? No, he's bad.
I'm hesitant to tell you much more about what happens in this film because the third act of this is pretty fucking wild. It involved shotguns, shovels, bees, bombs, and a local sheriff admitting to molesting Teddy when he used to babysit him 20 years ago, and so much more. They say this is a comedy.
But like, it's weird.
I guess I see the black comedy aspect of it at times, but something that maybe was supposed to be funny sometimes was...
It's just something weird.
It's sad to see Teddy in the state that he's in, doing what he's doing and bringing his overly trusting cousin along for the ride. I will say this has a satisfying ending at least, or at least it did for me. That's all I'll say about that. They do some really cool things. One I can mention is that each day they cut to a view of the Earth from space with how many days are left until the lunar eclipse, starting with 4 days. And each day they return to update how many days, and the Earth moves just a little bit each time. And by the time they get to the final view of the Earth and Teddy's at his peak, the Earth looks like it's flat, surrounded with an ice wall, and has a dome on top. Which, as we all know, is how the Earth actually would look if you could see it without NASA manipulating the photos with CGI.
That makes sense. I never thought of that, but yeah.
This movie has kind of grown on me a bit after some time away from it. It's well shot and well acted, especially from that 19-year-old Don, it being his first movie. It's an odd film and a bit off-putting. Not something I suspect the typical Marvel superhero movie fan will be super into, but the scores on it are all good from reviewers and audiences both. So what do I know?
Everything.
That is true. So if this sounded interesting to you at all, I recommend you see Bugonia, and I give it a straight B. on the cusp of a B+. Okay, enough of that guy's paranoid delusions. Let's get into some of your paranoid delusions about Freddy versus Jason.
But how does that connect to Jason, and how does he get into Jason's dormant mind and reanimate him?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make it in the world they're setting up, it doesn't make any sense.
Freddy and Jason were both in hell by the end of their previous films. You even saw Freddy's glove come out of the ground to pull Jason's mask down. That's how Freddy quote-unquote found Jason and got him to resurrect himself. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief on that when it comes to these two franchises. Listen, Freddy comes from a series where a dog pisses fire on his bones to resurrect him in the middle of a junkyard, and Jason gets resurrected into the body of a coroner by baiting him into eating his disembodied, still-beating heart. By comparison, Freddy vs. Jason is the height of logic. It's a guilty pleasure movie for me, for sure. I admit the script is bad, the dialogue is terrible, and the acting is often shaky at best, but Kelly Rowland really owned that F-slur she dropped on Freddy, though. But in 2003, it was exactly what I wanted to see. Trey being killed in the bed with like 45 stabs of the machete and then getting folded in half is still one of my favorite kills to this day by Jason. But if you watch it again and say,
that was it, that was too much, it was stupid,
then agree to disagree on your taste in movies. Your review didn't really review any of the good parts, so it gets a C-. Primal Rage seemed like a cheesy 80s fun kind of movie, I guess. Something to watch and say,
this is fucking stupid.
So I give it a B, and the review gets a B as well. All right, that's all I got for this week. I'm gonna go get some presents, eat some cake, and take a nap for my birthday. At least that's what I think old people do. So until the next Andromedan alien invasion has you chemically castrating yourself, peace and love, guys. Holy shit with Reverend Scott. If Bill and Chris like it, you'll probably like it too.
We like stupid shit sometimes, you know?
Sometimes. Well, when's your birthday? Oh, Scott had a good birthday. Happy birthday, dude. I do want to mention that Yorgos also directed Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster, and Dogtooth. So
yeah, Dogtooth, yeah. Yeah,
so,
that was uncomfortable.
Messy. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you for listening to the show. Hope you enjoyed the reviews this week. If you got any 2025 releases you think we should check out, feel free to send them to us at patreon.com/outsidethecinema or email them at outsidethecinema@gmail.com. Make sure to check out Chris's clothing line, Spectral Arts, available at spectralarts.spec.
Hold on. Spectopia.com.
Yeah, Spectral. Where did I get that?
Because it's part of it. They're ghosts and monsters. That's fine. I get it.
spectopiaarts.com. Spectral Arts.
Yeah. There we go.
And go over to Hoopla where you can stream the now featured title. Don't forget to leave under documentaries.
Oh, it's featured. Very nice.
It's featured. Yeah, there's a banner that comes across the top. You know, when you like featured new releases, it's one of those.
Good.
Check it out. We'll be back next week to talk about more films, and then we will do it again the week after.
Yeah.
Sound good?
That sounds like, good.
All right. Everyone have a good week. Talk to you soon.
This is the end of your rotten life, you motherfucking dope.